Hey Aquarius, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Three of Swords. The second card that we have out is Eight of Pentacles. Next we have Ten of Cups and Ace of Cups. And we also have the Hanged Man. All right, having Three of Swords above Page of Wands. This feels like something has to be tackled if you want to keep moving. Because Page of Wands is going to be connected with what you want to be doing. Maybe there's something that you're holding on to. Because I'm seeing Page of Wands be connected with the Hanged Man, there can be something that you're holding on to that... With the Hanged Man, sometimes there can be a letting go or there can be a releasing that's happening, only if we're not seeing something for what it is. That's where it'll be, that's where that energy will come into play. So having that Page of Wands, this is about like what we want to be doing, but having that Three of Swords above it feels like there's some wounding or there's some issue that needs to be addressed here, something that needs to be figured out, something that needs to be worked out. Because maybe too, with this Three of Swords card, it's like something gets all lumped together that may not totally belong. So you may be thinking that a grouping of thoughts even belong together, and there may need to be sort of a separation of this so you can see things clearly. It feels kind of like, you know, when you have something happen and it can be something that you really don't like, and anything that reminds you of that in the slightest, you can sort of lump it all into that category. Like, let's just use an easy situation. Let's say that you have something happen with somebody that's a certain sun sign, okay? So you're like, I don't like that zodiac because you went through something with that one person. So instead of seeing everybody as an individual, now you lump everybody together that's that one zodiac sign. So just an example of how this can work. So this Three of Swords feels like something that had happened, but I'm seeing this as being something that's lumped together now, that can just be very tied up in this, that this needs to be freed so it can be separate, so there can be a sense of individuality here. And when that happens, it feels to me like it gives permission for you to be on a track that you want to be on. And maybe also too, there's something that you're doing that is coming from a place where when you look at it, maybe there's going to be a reevaluating that happens. Because I'm seeing Three of Swords be connected with Two of Swords, what this means is that something that's connected with wounding, something that's connected with something that's being all lumped together is not allowing you to see clearly. What is it blocking you from seeing clearly? I'm seeing Ten of Cups. So this can mean, I don't really know what's going to make me happy, or I don't really know what's going to feel like it's enough, or I think it's this thing, and then you go in that direction and then it's not that thing. So and it can just make it difficult to go in a direction where what you think you're looking for, you're actually going to find that. This feels like it's blocking you from your 10 of Cups. So that means too that this can be keeping you in a spot where what you would actually feel a sense of joy within, you can be guiding yourself in a bit of a different direction based off of this Three of Swords, this thing that is still lumped together that needs to be taken apart. Because Three of Swords is kind of like psychologically needing to break something down so it can be understood. And see where it's blocking you. Yeah, I get the feeling of continuously being drawn back into this because it hasn't yet been figured out. The way that the Queen of Cups is moving towards this, it feels like keep going back into this thing and knowing, even if it's on more of an unconscious level, I haven't totally figured this out yet, because this is a Two of Swords and not an Ace of Swords yet. Like, something still needs to be pulled apart here to see it clearly. Or maybe actually integrated less than pulled apart. I'm also seeing Ace of Cups and Queen of Swords, and when I see that combination, this feels like on a level of understanding, being able to know Ace of Cups is the first step. That's, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Ace of Cups is the first step on the way to the Ten of Cups. So if you want to make it to the Ten of Cups, which is that this is right, this feels good, I hope this lasts forever, I love it here. It's gonna be one of those feelings. The first step to getting to that Ten of Cups is the Ace of Cups. That is the beginning. So having Queen of Swords below it feels like understanding what that first step is that needs to be taken in order to get to your Ten of Cups. And having us in the middle of the spread, it's Ten of Cups and Queen of Cups. And so there is a what you're sort of on the track of and what you're sort of looking out for. There's an idea about this, and there is a desire. Like, I want to be on track. I want to be somewhere that I want to be, where I actually feel good with this. I feel happy with this. It feels right to me. It feels like it's resonating with me. And this is what I want to be doing. It can be, this is a relationship that I want to be in, or this is the project that I want to be working on, or this is the activity that I love, or this is the path that I want to go down. But what needs to be worked through first, it feels like. And the only reason why this needs to be worked through first is so you can clearly see what the right path is going to be for you as far as like what you want. Because there is a desire here with Ten of Cups and Queen of Cups. There is I want to feel like things are good. I want to feel like things are all right. I want to feel connected with what resonates. I want to feel a sense of happiness. I want to feel a sense of joy. I want to feel a sense of fulfillment, a sense of completion, where like everything that I need is there and it can be sustainable with the Ten of Cups. So that is what the being on the lookout for is happening. But before that can happen, this Three of Swords, it needs to be undressed. And so whatever this is that's still being lumped together, that needs to be taken apart to be understood. And this feels like on a psychological level, because we have Three of Swords and Queen of Cups, this is something that is meant to be healed. This is something that's meant to be integrated. It needs to be recognized. It needs to be understood. And then at that point, there can be a moving forward that happens. So whatever this was, whatever this is that's connected with the Three of Swords, coming back to that example of you have a situation happen with somebody and then you're like, I don't like that zodiac sign, and then you want nothing to do with anybody that is that sun sign. Now, just an example, okay? It's needing to unpack that and see a specific situation for what it is and not lump everything together. And we do that for a reason. The reason why we can have an experience that we don't prefer and then lump all that together is because we're trying not to have to experience that again. It is a way that we are trying to keep ourselves safe, although it may not be so effective because it seems right now it's blocking you from something. And what is it blocking you from, or what is it making painful? It's actually making painful something that speaks to you, because we see a Page of Wands here. And this can even be too, like, I went and I did something that I was interested in, or I started trying to follow a path that I felt was calling to me, and then something happened and I got hurt. I tried to listen to a calling and I did that and I had a bad experience. I had an unwanted experience. I had an experience that I didn't prefer, and now that's stopping me from pursuing more things that I want to pursue. So it's kind of like a shutting down that's happening. I had that thing happen once and now I'm never going to do that again. I feel like that's ultimately what this has come down to. Having some type of experience that could have really put you off, and what you may be lumping together is that was something that I felt interested in and I felt called to explore. I did that and then something painful happened. And so now I don't want to, or now I'm keeping myself away from pursuing the exploration of something that I'm interested in, because I remember that time that I did that before and I got hurt. And so there's that lumping all in together. Like, thinking if I go for something that I want to explore now, that I feel interested in, I'm not going to allow myself to do that because I'm going to get hurt. It's like something going on within the belief system. And this is meant to be understood because it feels like it's really holding you back now at this point. And so it feels like the work cannot continue. Like we have that Eight of Pentacles and then we have the Two of Swords. It feels like all of the work and all of the stuff that you've been doing and this picture that you've been painting is now frozen until this is integrated, until this is figured out, and then moving forward can happen. Because the next steps are not being taken. Because there's this, I'm keeping myself back from this. I'm feeling a calling, or I'm feeling moved in that direction, and I'm grabbing myself and pulling myself back because in my head, I'm going to get hurt if I do that because of what happened before. Not seeing that this is a different situation and still lumping that all in together. And it can be something that really has not been taken apart. That Three of Swords feels like it's still ever present there. And it almost feels like a threat of, if you step in that direction, something is going to crash down on you and it's going to be really painful. So don't go that way. So it's like pain, fear, all of that is now being associated with you actually doing something that you feel called to do, a direction that you feel called to move in. Because Page of Wands is that part of you that's like, this is what I want to do, or this feels exciting to me, or I want to explore this. It's something that comes from that place of passion, intrigue, a calling within you. And rather than seeing that as some sort of step into a trap of some sort, this feels like taking apart what had happened and separating that situation from what's going on presently. Because past is definitely blocking something from presently happening. And that's why what this feels more than anything to me with Eight of Pentacles and Two of Swords, it feels like this is why the work has stopped. This is why the work has not continued. This is why this is not moving forward. And now having Ten of Cups and having Queen of Cups, this is the part of you that's coming online and saying, hey, you know, it's possible for us to be happy. You know, it's possible to feel a sense of contentment. You know, it's possible to feel at peace. You know, it's possible to feel a sense of fulfillment. That is a possibility for you. But I need to come back here and start this thing where I have stopped in order to actually do that. And recognize that if I want to move in the direction of my Ten of Cups and my pursuit of happiness, peace, joy, for like the fourth time saying this over again, that first step is going to be the Ace of Cups, which is needed. But there can still be this, I'm holding myself back from it. Pain creating a defensiveness, a trigger, and then instead of moving in the direction of something that can even rewrite that for you, blocking out the thing that can rewrite that for you. Because you may think, I'm just standing here and pushing away what I feel like is not part of my path for fear of being hurt, when really it feels like that's exactly what's calling to you. And so there is a reorienting or a pivoting of your understanding of your narrative surrounding what it means when something calls to you and how to appropriately respond to that. I get the feeling too that there's like some type of assumption with this thing that's clumped together. There's some type of assumption that if I do that thing that I did before, now the same thing is going to happen, but I'm not seeing that be the case. And it's needing to delineate. There is a difference here. It's not the same situation. It's not the same thing that's going to happen. And when this is unpacked, there's going to be that understanding of it. And you're going to basically free yourself of this, because it feels very much like this pain is still guiding. The pain, the fear, the unintegrated stuff is still guiding choices that are being made and keeping you from what you actually want. Keeping you from connecting with what you actually want and where you really want to be and where you'll feel that sense of belonging. I do feel too ultimately like this is going to be in some ways a new chapter that you're starting, and also a continuation as well of everything that you've done, of all that you have invested and put in to keep sort of going with that, where it has been paused, to press play there. And that will be able to happen when you come into a place of understanding where this gets unpacked, and that's really going to be the beginning. So this is something too where you can go into that fear of, why does the idea of me pursuing a path that genuinely calls to me, why is that bringing up fear for me? What am I scared of is going to happen? What happened there that I'm worried is going to happen again? It's going to be this whole thing that ends up being done. For some of you too, I wonder if this was something that you had going on that you were doing that maybe you stopped doing, that you actually wanted to keep doing, but there's a fear of being hurt, a fear of experiencing something painful, and so putting a pause on that. It's like, let's say that you're in the middle of writing a book, okay, and you have somebody like peer edit it for you or like review it for you or whatever, and they give you some type of feedback that maybe was like really painful or really upsetting, and then you're like, I'm not gonna write any of this book anymore, I'm just gonna stop, because this feels like, this Two of Swords feels like I'm stopping something that I've already been working on, because that was really unsettling what had happened there. And then it's like the book keeps calling to you because it's saying, I need you to write this, I need you to write this, I need you to write this. Like, this is really where it's at for you. This is something really important for you. Meanwhile, there's been that hurt, and now I don't want to have to go back into that because it was just too much, and then like shutting down completely because of it. And this feels very much like an urge to get back on track here, because this is going to be that answer for you. And needing to pick things back up. Because you can know too, when you really check in with yourself, you'll know, like, this is my passion to be doing this. This is something that I feel really connected with. This is something that really resonates with me. This is something that feels really important to me. I feel so much joy when I'm writing this, whatever this thing is for you. And so you'll know as you break this down what's been deterring me from participating in this again was that thing that happened that I still haven't integrated. And there really needs to be an unpacking of it, because there's that, like the example with the book and stopping writing it, it feels like there's an association now with the path of writing the book is now associated with pain and needing to separate those. And it's only going to happen through a deeper analysis of that, so you can separate those things. So you're no longer making that association where writing book is painful. Because I'm seeing too, like, they actually don't go together, whatever this is that's being lumped together. And in you taking a closer look at this, you're going to be able to separate them, and then you will be free to be on your way and to continue this. And there's not going to be that association anymore. But that's the thing that's basically been blocking you. I feel like that about does it. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.